Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are Anggun Guna Puspita, Rizky Rohmah, and Zakia Faradiba from Group 20. We are going to present about research instruments, tests, and questionnaire. The first is the definition of research instrument. Research instrument is a tool used to collect, measure, and analyze data related to the researcher's interest. Those tools are most commonly used in health sciences, social sciences, and education to assess patients, clients, students, teachers, and so on. And the next is types of research instrument. Various types of research instrument may include surveys, tests, questionnaires, aptitude tests, observation forms, scales, and checklists.
Tests. A definition of tests. Tests are usually used in quantitative research to measure attitudes, personality, self-perception, talents, and also the work of research participants. The test is an important measuring tool in education. A test is a set of stimuli given to a person to elicit a response on the basis of a given numerical score. This score, based on a representative sample of an individual's behavior, is an indicator of the extent to which the subject has the characteristic being measured. The score is used as a construct indicator and is a function of the objectivity, validity, and reliability of the test. Objectivity is the degree of agreement among readers. There are several tests, such as a multiple choice and true-false, which are described as objective tests, because the assessment is done by comparing student answer with the scoring key and the readers don't need to make a decision. Meanwhile, the easy test is considered a less objective test, because the scoring is influenced by the opinion of the scorers. The type of tests. Achievement tests. Achievement tests are widely used in educational research and also in the school system. These tests are used to measure what students have learned, and they are usually made by the teachers or researchers. They are also to measure mastery and proficiency in the field of knowledge by presenting subject by providing a set of questions that involve completing assignment cognitive tasks. Standardized tests. Standard tests is tests that result from careful preparation by experts and cover academic goals. The test is tests for which comparative norms have been derived, validation and reliability have been established, and direction for scoring have been determined. In this test, there should be a direct relationship between the content of the test and the material that students have learned. This test should also be valid and reliable for the types of subject include the researcher. Researcher-made tests. When using the standardized test, it is considered less suitable for specific purposes such as for research purposes. Therefore, researchers prefer to make their own tests because they are considered more appropriate to the topics discussed in the research. Before using the test, the researcher should check first the validity and reliability. Norm reference and criterion reference tests. Based on the type of interpretation, standardized and researcher-made tests could be classified as norm reference or criterion reference. Norm reference tests allow researchers to compare the test performance of students with other students, while criterion reference allows researchers to describe what a particular individual can do without referring to the performance of others. Aptitude test. Aptitude test is test used to measure general ability or potential to learn about knowledge and skill. The tests measure an individual's ability to understand relationships, solve problems, and apply knowledge in variety of contexts. Aptitude tests are often administered as part of a school test program, such as the ACT American College Testing Assessment and SAT Scholastic Assessment Test for high student in for high school student and the GRE Graduate Record Exam and MAT Miller Analogies Test for college seniors. Such tests often yield three scores: an overall score, a verbal score, and a quantitative score. The test can be done individually or in groups.
And next is questionnaire. Questionnaires are a favorite tool of many people engaged in research. A questionnaire is a research instrument consists of a series of questions for the purpose of gathering information from respondents. Questionnaire can be thought of as a kind of written interview. They can be carried out face-to-face, by telephone, computer, or post. They can usually provide a cheap and effective way to collect data in structured and manageable form. The use of questionnaire, we often need information on a range of topics, and in order to obtain this information, we may need to ask people questions. Questionnaires can be designed and used to collect a large amount of data from different interviews. They have many advantages compared to the other form of data collection, and they are usually cheap. Management developing them require very little training. Once completed, they can be analyzed easily and quickly. An effective questionnaire is a questionnaire that can convey useful and accurate information or data from the interview to the researcher. And there are types of questionnaire. The first is the mail survey is by far the most common questionnaire type. This instrument is addressed to respondents and delivered by mail and can be an efficient way of collecting large amount of data. And the second is the group administered. Questionnaire is a useful instrument for collecting data from a sample respondent who can naturally be brought together for the purpose. And the last is the household drop-off survey is a hybrid of the mail and the group administered survey. And there are type of question. Number one is closed question. There are questions to which all possible answers are provided. The most often used from our closed question is the dichotomous question requiring a yes or no response. Number two is multiple choice questions. Many questionnaires include questions which provide a number of predefined response. This allows the researcher to hold some control over the response given. Number three is open-ended question. Open-ended question impose none of the restriction of closed and multiple choice question. They allow for the recording of any response to a question provided by the respondent. Number four is scale item. Some questions require the respondent to indicate answer according to a predefined list of scale, usually ranging from a very positive answer to a very negative answer. And there is limitation of questionnaire. Number one is leading question. Number two is complicated question, irritating question, ambiguous or unclear question, too many open-ended question, reason to use questionnaires, and reason not to use questionnaire.
Research instrument is a tool used to collect, measure, and analyze data related to the researcher interests. Those tools are most commonly used in the health science, social science, and education to assess patient, clients, student, teacher, staff, and etc. There are two types of research instruments that are often used in quantitative research, namely tests and questionnaires. The test is an important measuring tool in education. A test is a set of stimuli given to a person to elicit a response of the basis of a given numerical score. There are two types of tests, namely achievement tests and aptitude tests. And questionnaire is a research instrument consisting of a series of the question for the purpose of gathering information from respondents. Questionnaires can be thought as a kind of written interview. They can be carried out face-to-face by telephone, computer, or post.
That's all about our explanation about research instruments. If you don't understand yet, please write down your question in Google Classroom. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.